China became the second largest economy, and how it became in long history. It's 3,500 years ago, about 1500 BC, when ancient Chinese people invented Chinese writings. Some teachers would put the Chinese history a few thousand years before the date. It's not a big difference when people found bones millions years old. In China, Shang and Zhou thus became the two dynasties, got a degree of writing history. Then it followed by long seasons of spring and autumn. War states kept fighting each other. Then there was the first emperor of dynasty, Qing. The first emperor, Qing, set up a strong central ruling system for Chinese. It's a system like a pyramid of power. But when Egypt has already given up pyramid building, after the dynasty of Qing, there were similar dynasties of central power system. They were Han, Sui, Tang, Song, Yuan, Ming, Qing. One followed the before. They castrated men and used them as servants in long history. 1,000 years before, from dynasty of Song, they started breaking women's feet physically in young age and call it culture. So China history is different from the West. It's a huge pyramid of power. It has no Renaissance and Age of Discovery until Europeans founded the big Eastern Kingdom. It was during the dynasty of Qing. British won the War of Opium in 1842. Qing started to collapse from then on, and the Chinese turned into such helpless condition. If we recall some events between China and the USA, in 1882, USA passed Chinese Exclusion Act. In 1908, U.S. Congress passed a bill, and President Theodore Roosevelt started the Boxer Indemnity Scholarship Program. Qing ended in 1911. History before it looked like it went through from Qing to Qing. Chinese Communist Party, CCP, get hands on China from 1949. Immediately, they start to kill landowners and their families by millions. Chinese and Americans fought during the Korean War, but Chinese soldiers denied they were sent by China government. They had to call themselves volunteers. After the war, communists turned inside to kill over 30 million Chinese by starvation from 1959 to 1961. I know you can't believe it. I don't want to believe it too. Then they tested a nuclear weapon in 1964. Then Mao and his comrades started to torture more Chinese by another political revolution. It's been called the Great Cultural Revolution. Those dead was not killed by executions, but by their families and friends. They were forced to do it in political oppressions. In the same time, USA sent human beings to land on the moon in 1969. Steve Jobs started to sell Apple computer in 1976 as conference of date. Then CCP started to use markets. It's being called the reforming and opening. It's market, but not a free market from the beginning. 1989, there was killing in Tiananmen Square, Beijing. In the same year, German people broken down the Berlin Wall. 1999, they started the persecution and mass torturing of Falun Gong practitioners. Then people learned the business of human organ transplant. 2001, China joined WTO, World Trade Organization. It exports more and more products made in labor-intensive factories. No one calls it slave factories. In the same time, they hold on birth control policies. Some people think it's just a pregnant abortion. But how they did it? Pushing women onto the table and pull the flesh out of their body. But the market and trading brought China to the position of the second largest economic state. The CCP became a huge group benefiting from the history of killing and torturing. They get over 100 million members with them, and it's a commanding power facing the world. How they keep the benefit? They split the internet into two parts. One is the old internet, one is China internet. They twisted the history and brainwashed people in terms of 4G, 5G communications. Yes, free speech is not without cost, but how much should Chinese pay for it? By death toll? There is no way to balance killing with killing or revenge torturing with torturing, but the ghost war is between the two internets. It's going to hurt everyone. The cost to break the war is far less than a tariff war, obviously. Okay, thank you.